All right, what is up, everyone? I hope that you're doing fucking amazing. So today I'm going to be showing you the one tool that I install into every single sales team that I manage, and every single time that I put it in, the show rates just go through the roof, right? So teams that are at 40%, right, 30%, 50%, whatever it is, jumping to like 75, 80, 85%, all of those things. And the best part is that it's pretty much all done for you, right? It takes like 20 minutes to set up. So in this video, there's going to be a bunch of exciting stuff. I've actually got a guest that will be on here as well. I'll show you what the tool is, how to use it, the workflows, the sequences, high converting kind of variations that you can put, and why really just doing this one change can legitimately 2-3x the revenue without actually changing really a single thing about your offer, the ads, your team, the closers, the setters, none of that stuff. Okay, so with that being said, let's crack into this right now. All right, so we're gonna break this all down step by step. Now, this tool, I was actually a very, very, very earlier adopter of this, right? So around a year and a half, 2 years ago, there was a marketing agency that I took over. It was doing around 35K a month. We took it to 121K per month. Now, there was a lot of things that went into that, right? Building an outbound dialing team, scaling this, the closing team, obviously, you know, world-class trainings, like ton of speed to lead things, everything in there. But naturally, in a marketing agency industry, it's very competitive. Trust is at an all-time low. There's a lot of skepticism. There's a lot of business owners that have worked with other marketing agencies, got no results. And as a result, they're like, hey, I don't want to go through your sales process. Like, you know, just tell me what you guys do and what the price is, like all of that type of dynamic. Now, this tool allowed me to actually build so much trust before a call ever happened that it was a much smoother transition. So yes, this increased show rate and conversion rate as a byproduct, but it also happened because of the ways that we could calibrate through this and increase trust. Okay, so the tool itself is SendBlue. Okay, and I'm going to be going very in depth on how to use this at the highest level. We're also going to be able to have one of the account executives on this call who's going to break it down and show kind of behind the scenes workflows and everything like that. Now, at a high level, why is this an effective tool to use? Okay, so firstly, I'm hoping everyone knows this, but if you don't, a green SMS is what would typically come through as like some type of text confirmation. The issue with this is that every company is using those, right? I'm sure you guys get meal prep delivery services and all this bullshit that are sending you a green message like, hey, get 40% off your next box or whatever. And you're like, these damn spam fucking bullshit texts, right? So naturally, anything that is getting sent through that same medium is lumped in the same way. This must be a scam. This is bullshit. This is just something that I'll ignore. Now, iMessage, they're typically only really coming from friends or family. So naturally, it's going to have a much higher increase of actual response rate. And I can show you some of these metrics in a second. Now, the second thing is like, we get to then utilize all of the things that are normally inside of an iPhone's functionality. So voice messages, videos, right? Integrated videos, by the way, like you can just press the button straight in there, right? There's loads of different GIFs, right? You can even use the special effects. So I don't know if you guys have ever tested this, but you can like do like wipe away text. So like it's like a blank screen and they have to wipe it away, right? So you can do all of these things that you would normally be able to do as an iPhone user, but now you can automate it as a software. So you can get super, super creative with this. We'll talk about this later in the video, but we can even use AI to be able to send like AI-based voice messages where it's like a pre-recorded voice message, but then it would slot in the prospect's name, for example. So all of these things, as you can imagine, are gonna just massively increase trust because it's gonna feel so personal and so human. So this is such a key, vital move because we're looking at it from, you know, just the surface level of like, cool, this will probably increase show rate, but there's so much more that happens with it. Like the show rate is a byproduct of the fact that there's more trust, and the byproduct of there being more trust is that there's a higher conversion rate as well. Okay, not to mention that you're speaking to more people because of the higher show rate. All right, so what I'm showing you right here is December of this offer and what the show rate was, 46%. Okay, in January is when we implemented SendBlue. So I will pull across, we have a new dashboard for it. We don't like to use kind of the generic kind of ones anymore. We like something a bit more custom. So we can take a look at this right here. Show rate, 73.8% for that month. And obviously, naturally, we're making a shit ton more money. A huge part of that is due to the fact that we're speaking to way more leads. So this is just one example, right? I've implemented this on multiple offers and it's done exactly the same, right? One of the other offers that we took over had like a 37% show rate, something like that. There was one month where we had it at like over 80. The average is more around kind of 70, but naturally that's still like a 2.5x or whatever increase on the show rate, which just allows us to absolutely just sling way more deals, right, as a byproduct. Okay, so these are the things where you got to look at like, okay, what's the cost of SendBlue, which is basically like $1,000, by the way, and it's like, what's the likelihood that I close one more deal from that, which means it's already paid for itself. What's the realistic likelihood that this actually helps me close 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 more deals, depending on the size of the offer and the amount of lead flow? Pretty damn likely, right? So this is just such a no-brainer move in my eyes, because you should always be looking at like, okay, what can I implement? What can I put in place that's just going to allow us to have a bulletproof foundation with the highest level of conversions and helps us stand out from just the natural kind of normal things. So this is just one example of how effective this can be. Perfect. So with that being said, what we're going to do now, I've obviously implemented this with tons of past clients, but who better to show you the inside of this than someone that's actually inside of SendBlue as a team member, the top closer that is inside of all of the different client accounts, inside of their Slack channels, in all of the data, so that we can actually see behind the scenes workflows, behind the scene results, and ultimately just what this looks like, you know, once it's implemented, and how simple and effective it can be. So we're now going to dive into a short little call that I done with a very good friend of mine, where we're going to run through all of those things. All right, I'm here with the man himself, Mr. Sibelia, Simon. This is a very close friend of mine, someone that I've fucking coached. This dude's an absolute stud, but he is the top closer on SendBlue. How long have you been on SendBlue for?
Since June.
Okay, so dude's crushing it on there. I know that you've got a ton of conviction in the company and what you guys have basically achieved for all of your clients. So who better to kind of show you behind the scenes a little bit, what the platform looks like, what workflows look like, some data and numbers, so that we can really, like, you know, see how effective this tool really is. Because, you know, I've got it with multiple clients, but you have kind of the, you know, under the hood of the car approach for every single client there. So maybe give a bit of an intro towards, like, I guess your personal experience like selling this and working with clients on SendBlue, and then we can dive into some stuff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the intro. Well, yeah, I am the lead AE at SendBlue. I've been since June, and I've had the opportunity to work with big guys in the space. You can name them, like Harnox, all these guys. I run anything from webinars to abandoned cart plays to opted-in leads or show rates. I've helped people like JJ, Sales.io, raises show rate from like 42% to 92%, only by including the iMessage and a pre-call confirmation process when they had everything else, but people weren't responding. So yeah, excited to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Let's go. All right, cool. Yeah. So we'll dive into some stuff behind the scenes, just so we can get that like inside look and everything, and then go from there.
Sure. Yeah. The first thing I wanted to show you guys is a little more of an advanced workflow. So I'm going to show you what it looks like inside our workflow builder inside of SendBlue, which we can SAP into any other CRM, or we can do it inside also of GoHighLevel. You guys can decide. We also have native integrations in other CRMs. You guys can check out our website and see what those are. But here is our workflow builder. So what you're seeing on the screen is what is live. This is live right now. This is when someone opts in from a demo. So right now, what we have is our CRM enrolled. We have closed CRM integration. Shout out to Sam Queen, the man himself. And then we have numbers. So we have multiple lines that will round robin. Or if you have one line, it will text from that same line. And then we have the first iMessage. Hey, contact name. This is Sam with SendBlue. And I'll show you a display of the conversation. And then we have a wait for reply. And then once that person replies, we can send videos. We can send voice memos. And we can send potential AI videos as well, or voice memos. If you guys want to go crazier, we have people that use AI agents with SendBlue, and they just have a AI setter take over. So you guys can automate the process or use AI, and then you can just have the whole workflow take over. Now we can use for lead opt-in, or like I said, pre-call confirmation, like for show up rates. And people that don't respond, we also just make sure we follow up correctly. So like, hey, are you giving up on iMessage? And then if that person replies, goes back into the flow, which is a video that we can plug in here. So we'll pre-record it, and a voice memo that we can pre-record. And it will look
super quick. Yeah. Like one of the things as well is that, because this is a little bit more of an advanced workflow, it's not crazy, but like there's sure. more steps to it and everything. And like my experience here is, you know, I've worked with different companies before with CSMs and all of this stuff. Whereas with SendBlue, like I've worked with a few of the different CSMs, and every single one of them has like personally helped me build stuff out. If a crisis has hit, like they've all jumped on one-on-ones with me within like literally minutes. Like there's a lot of like very, very hands-on kind of approach to this, which is sick. And there's so many things you can play around with. Like I tested on an agency, we scaled our marketing agencies in general. general are kind of notorious for having pretty shitty show rate, especially if it's cold traffic. And that was one that I scaled from like, it was like 35K a month to like 121K a month within 60 days. This was like early days of SendBlue. Like I was like super early into it before Simon was even on the team. And we used ElevenLabs to like AI like place in the name of the prospect. So it was like the closer talking, we put them into an iMessage group chat, right? So there's so many cool things that you can set up with this. Like it doesn't, obviously the conversion of it being a blue message is massive, but like getting a setter that maybe calls them and then places them into an iMessage group chat, and then there's an iMessage voice note that comes from the closer, but all of it's fucking automated. They're never going to know it's automated, right? Like it feels so personal. Like added to a group chat, they got voice messages, they got everything, but it's like literally all automated. It's like low friction. There's nothing that ever has to be like done on the sales team side. But then naturally, when the prospects reply, the setters can just go in there, or closers or whoever can go in there and kind of continue the conversation. But you just have so much trust built up already without anyone really having to do anything. So it's so sick.
Yeah, I have a client right now that's very big in the space. He has like over 40 million followers across all platforms. And what they do is they do group chats, and they do automated group chats. So someone opts in, they get a message from the face of the brand. Hey, this is X from X. And then they do an initial conversation, and then he goes, I'm going to go ahead and create a group chat with one of my team members, Scott. And he'll take it from there. Is that cool? And then the automation just takes over and the group chat's created. And then now you have an ecosystem. Everything can be done within SendBlue, by the way. So everything is done within the dashboard.
And I want you to think of like how much stuff this can save, even just on staffing costs and stuff as well. Because there's so many things that can be put in place where you maybe don't need a lead nurture specialist, or even the setter involvement. Like, because there's less steps that they have to do, they can spend more time dialing, which means you're making more money. So it's a flywheel effect where it's like, cool, there's a cost to the software, but like the conversion of show rate increases so much, but then there's all of these hidden other costs that you're saving on that you don't even think about in terms of efficiency being improved, so that the team has more time to put into other stuff to be revenue generating. So yeah, but yeah, continue.
I had multiple of my friends that are setters that are saying, like, when they go from an offer from SendBlue without SendBlue, they go, you guys made my life so much easier, I'm gonna get you guys in this offer. So I mean, it's not skewed, right? Like, I can't sound skewed, but I just work with hundreds of accounts that I've done results for. But the biggest thing with us is we can provide these copies and workflows that work very well across many people. And again, like Scott said, you will have in fact a CSM in your Slack channel, and myself, I'm going to be the AE, helping you guys map out new workflows, map out new ideas to make sure you guys are maximizing the tool, because it's just more than sending iMessage for sure. So for example, in GoHighLevel, we have a drip sequence here. And then we have a check iMessage. So we're able to see who has an iMessage, who doesn't. Whoever does goes on the left, whoever doesn't goes on the right. And then we can send the messages just like earlier. Hey, this is Sam with SendBlue. Can I send you a demo? And then after that person is waiting for reply, and then we can plug in the video here. And then if you guys want to do the ElevenLabs video or the voice memo, you guys can type exactly what the ElevenLabs video will say, and that will just spit it out on the video. So we like the contact name, and we'll get like a personalized video. And this is a little bit more complex workflow as well, because you can see it's like live too. So there's people here waiting for a reply, but as well you can see like the many steps that this has. Again, my team will help with this. I know it looks complicated, but this is the bread and butter.
All right, cool. So hopefully that connected a lot of dots for you. One thing that I'm going to do, by the way, in the description is just put a link to actually sign up with SendBlue, because in my eyes, after seeing that and everything like that, if you're a business owner, even a sales rep, and you want to push it forward to your business owner, it is such a no-brainer. It's such an obvious net ROI. So I wanted to be able to give you a direct way of accessing that. I spoke to the team. They gave me my own link for it, which is super exciting. But ultimately, I would have sent this shit either way, because, you know, I'm never going to kind of like suggest something that I don't personally have experience using and have seen the benefits of using it itself. But if you are like a business owner or a sales manager or something like that, go and check that out, because it's just an absolute game changer.
This is one of my clients, and I actually signed them up because of following up. It's a very big company in the lending space, and so this person opted in back in September, and you can see here, hey, this is Sam with SendBlue. Can I send you a demo? He interacted with the automation, and now we're sending a video. We're sending a voice memo just to demo it. and then we say, hey, what kind of vis do you have? This person
And
is
super quick on this. This may
Yeah.
seem obvious, but I want to hit on it. Like, because this is an iMessage sending a video, there's no links, there's none of that bullshit. Like, it's a native video that you can just click play on, which from my experience, it's had like, fuck, I don't even know, like close to like probably 100% in terms of people actually watching that, legitimately, because it's like curiosity. It's like, oh, there's a video right here that I could just press play on, right? So even that, I've just seen, like, when I've put that in place, you have the usual, hey, can you watch this pre-call video before, and you send some link. Every call that I was ever taking, people were like, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it, all of this bullshit. Whereas with this, it's so effortless to watch it, and it's driving a lot of curiosity that they just naturally click on it and everything. So, and even on the thing that you were mentioning there, like, I have only really ever just scripted out things when it comes to workflows. I've never really like gone in and like built out the workloads, you know what I mean? Because like you said, they've got the templates ready to go. If there's like a few tweaks or changes that we would personally need, like it's typically getting handled by the CSM. So it's just like, yeah, on my side, like running offers and stuff, it's just effortless.
And like for us, it's speed, right? Like I know a lot of business owners struggle with the A2P side and getting approved. For us, it's just a plug and play, and that's why we have all these systems in place. Like workflows are done, the templates are done, so you're able to go live within 48 to 72 hours. So right here, for example, they can see the video went out, the voice memo went out, he's interacting back with me. We're currently using Tulio inside of Soho, and then I have a note. We can create notes inside of the dashboard, and then I ask here, why are you looking for your for iMessage? He's interacting with me, and then on the pre-call, you can see there's a whole video here. I can even play. It's a customized video.
In the MLB, but now he works with me at SendBlue to talk about how iMessage just.
So this is a video of our CRO Sam making an intro of me, and then this person just shows up to the call, and then I just keep following up with this person for a very long time. Please, Charles, to resolve this. And then he ends up signing up. We can send images. We can send everything here. He sends me an image. Everything is done within our native, and everything will populate back into your CRM. So if you're in Close, if you're in DHL, if you're in Hotspot, all these conversations can be done internally inside your CRM. I'm just showing you guys the platform and the dashboard. So I can send voice memos too, manually or automate them, like I said. And then we have many other features. And then we can call, and then FaceTime audio was added not long ago.
Yeah, and one of the beautiful things of this is you get all of the functionality of an iPhone, like sending videos and photos and voice notes and stuff. And obviously you got the ones that are automated, but a team member can send a manual one like Simon just showed there. So now you have the functionality of an iPhone, but the visibility of an actual software, as opposed to it just being on someone's iPhone on the team, where maybe you bought them the iPhone as a company or whatever, and you can't actually see what the conversations look like. So yeah,
right.
so good.
Yeah, it's funny because some owners, actually, Scott, that reminds me of an offer, a trading offer that's with me, and they had their reps using their iPhones, but they signed up with me because there was a girl closer that got harassed over text, and she was getting harassed, and it was on her own phone, so she never said anything until she brought it up for a few days later. So now they say, oh, we want full visibility, and then that's what you get. And talking about visibility, you're able to see also data. So we're able to track live data, weekly, monthly, yesterday, everything of our current response rate. So this is across the last 30 days at SendBlue. So we have gotten 3,800 leads in the last month, and we gotten a 75% response rate compared to a 35% average response rate with SMS. Some days are as low as 12%. So if we combine them, and we go 12% on February 14th, we had an 85% response rate that same day with iMessage.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So good.
And then you're able to track data, and then you can track now with our new dashboard, you can track like specific reps to see their data and their numbers to make sure they're hitting KPIs, number one, but also just to make sure they're on track for everything. But yeah, it's pretty clear and very straightforward on our end how we make it seem. It's very seamless. It's just more visibility for the teams. Yeah.
So powerful. And I know that you guys are always like trying to innovate stuff as well. Like I know there's like a beta of a power dialer and all kinds of shit that is kind of being like built out and stuff at the moment and things. So yeah, I think it's just an insane company. Like there's no team that I've ran where it doesn't make sense to get SendBlue in place. And that's like me. I mean, I was, long before you were closing on here, I was already using them, right? Like I was like a very early adapter of it. And I remember on the agency, it just crushed because it's such a low trust industry. And it like being able to create, because people say like, oh, you know, like if you're selling marketing agencies, like if you send them a pre-call video, they're not going to go through it because they're so used to jumping on all of these calls and shit. But it's like kind of true, but you can still build trust. Right, like even if you're some brand new agency that has no clients, if you set this up and you're messaging on iMessage, you're already separated. If you're then sending automated voice messages that are super quick and you have good speed to lead on it, you're already separated. You send a pre-call video that's native inside of iMessage, you're already like, there's so many things that you can do that it's just a no-brainer, where it's like, sure, the response rate's higher, but you don't think of how much higher like the conversion rate is just from the extra levels of trust that are built and shit. So
yeah, there's a lot of into it, like the way our copy set up with a, hey, this is Simon with SendBlue, can I send you a demo? Now we can set up contact cards, and Siri is going to suggest maybe Simon with my contact card. So now when I call you through FaceTime audio, which by the way bypasses the new iOS screening, now I'm getting a picture and maybe Simon and FaceTime audio at the same time. Pickup rate's just almost 2x.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned that really, like that you can make calls from SendBlue. Right, so you can make calls from it, you can also make FaceTime audio calls from it and stuff as well, which naturally you can imagine the pickup rate on someone that like you're on your iPhone and then it's like FaceTime audio call from number, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this? You're just gonna assume it's like a friend or something. You're gonna answer it. It's crazy response rate or pickup rate, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's funny, and this is legit. Like the other day, Josh Husky's here, and like another friend of mine, and Hannah as well. And Josh Husky and I were in the computer. Someone opted in at 8:30 a.m. They're in Massachusetts, so I was like, I double dialed, no answer, on normal phone, and then FaceTime dialed, and he picked up, and he was like, hey, I'm shoveling snow. Can I call you back? Sure. Yeah, but he picked up. Yeah. Now he picked up. He's engaged. So it's just it's crap.
It's crazy. Cool. I feel like that's a really good insight, man, just to kind of see behind the scenes and everything. I know that you guys are working with a ton of clients and just like everyone's happy with it and killing it and stuff. I've used competitors and other variations and stuff. And firstly, the actual system and software itself is never comparable to what you guys have. But honestly, like for me, and this is me just talking more selfishly as a guy that's like busy and running different teams, like you kind of handle like, I would say 99% of the heavy lifting for us. Right, and it's like, if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be as passionate about SendBlue. But the fact that I can say, hey guys, like, I'm looking to do this, can you guys help me with it? And like, you will help with scripting at times, you'll help me build out the workflow. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I really can like just be like the innovator of like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. And then you guys normally have like a way that we'll actually be able to deploy it that's gonna keep the line health good, like, you know, have good show rate, like all of those things. So
yeah, following best practices, and that's what we focus on. We want to make sure our clients are happy, and I'm glad you're happy. You have 5 accounts with us, so that's awesome.
Yes, sir. All right, so there's something very powerful that you can do, and I'm going to run you through it right here. So the first message that we want to have in place, naturally, you want to have it say, hey, you know, it's Scott here from XYZ team. So then it can come up with maybe Scott, right? The second thing that you want to do is drive curiosity. So response rate is as high as possible. So I'm going to read through an example of one that I've been using, which works very well, and kind of, you know, give you some ideas of something that is just something I've learned from doing this that drives good results. Okay. So basically it's like, hey, it's, you know, XYZ with XYZ team. You've locked in a spot for our event, or you've booked in a call with us, whatever it is. And because of that, XYZ offer owner has recorded some private behind the scenes videos that will, and then desired outcome, right? So for this one, it would be like, break down the specific moves that you can make before you even get on that masterclass, so you can walk in already ahead of the game. Let me know if you want me to shoot that across, right? Is one variation of it. So the second thing you could do is actually giving them optionality, so they get to basically choose. What that would look like is like, just so I can send you the most powerful video for you, which one is more relevant for your situation, A, B, or C? And you kind of fill in these different ones, and there's like different recorded videos for it. So this is a really powerful way to just drive curiosity and massive response rate, right? Like, so they've made some super useful behind the scenes videos specifically for people that have booked in a call, or specifically for people that have signed up to our masterclass, right? So now it's like, okay, I'm special. I get this private behind the scenes masterclass. It's going to prime me, yada, yada. All of these things start to play out, right? Then they get the native video that they can play. So everything's just set to go. Then you could schedule a voice message for, you know, 6 hours later, 7 minutes later, 2 days later, whatever it might be, which is like, you know, just priming them even further. Hope you found that video useful. blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. See you on the event, right? On the XYZ date, right? Some shit like that. So there's so much you can do with this. There's so much you can play around with. And ultimately, like I said, it's just one of those things that's like one and done. That's how I look at it. One and done, right? It's like, if I put this in place, it's going to have an immediate uptick in terms of my results and my revenue that I can generate. So it's just a no-brainer. So hopefully this video has been valuable to give you like more of a behind the scenes thing. Like I said, my goal with this channel is really leave no stone unturned, right? So piece by piece, we will go through all of the different things that I implement into different teams. Now, naturally, like I've said many times, every team is different, right? Like I take a lot of pride in really building out custom tailored things for every team that I would work with. So within reason, these are all of like the typical things that I would implement, but there's plenty of things that would more just be contextual to an offer itself. Okay, so with that being said, the usual shit, go and subscribe. If you are a business owner or an offer owner or a sales manager or anything like that, and you want to kind of talk about maybe how I can help you elevate things, or even just around coaching, whatever it might be, just let me know. I'm a very open book. You can hit me up on Instagram. Other than that, peace and love. Crush the day. I'll catch you all soon.